Oh, no supercharge?
No,
Okay.
um, turbo's going to cost a couple $100, where supercharge is a couple of $1,000.
Ah, gotcha.
So Dom's got a 70 millimeter turbo we're going to put on there.
Nice.
Yeah, that should give it some boost.
Yeah. Do you want to do your intro now, or should I keep letting you talk while recording?
Well,
I mean, broadcasting.
I don't know. I saw that you're.
There, I'm live. Yeah.
Plus, I'm not really doing Redneck's World, so.
You can do my intro.
You just got used to me yelling at your guys, so.
Well, hey, if you're yelling at him, it beats me yelling at him.
What's up, not just the gamers freaks.
Here back at Not Just a Gamer, we're going to be playing Destiny 2. Game I have too much time invested in, and my brother's got no time invested in, so yeah, should be fun. Waiting for him to join the fire team.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you we're watching Aladdin.
What?
We're watching Aladdin,
Why?
the live action movie,
Oh, God.
because it's ridiculous.
Why is it so ridiculous?
Well, if you watch Aladdin, the cartoon and everything, it kind of gives you a glimpse into the future. You have a sultan that's a puppet, a corrupt guy behind him, pretty much running the country, and a guy that's trying to do good by everybody, and everybody hates him. So it's kind of a Biden Trump story.
Okay. I can see that to a point.
It's more of an Obama Trump story, honestly, because Obama's in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Trump was doing good but Trump also didn't have to steal from anybody, so
Right.
I think that's the big difference there.
It kind of is.
Well, that and a lot less sand.
A lot less sand. Yeah.
But
Honestly, I didn't realize that Arabic people were so musical.
right? No, I was going to say back to the title of this particular episode. Peace or war is basically saying Trump or Biden.
You know, that sounds like the title of a book I want to write.
Almost, right? Like
Yeah, peace or war. Like,
peace or war for
it's your
2024.
it's your choice, peace or war. If we go this route, then we're gonna have peace. If we go that route, we're gonna have war. And
Well,
look at what's happening.
It's almost on our
Everybody's
doorstep right
stockpiling.
now.
Yeah, well, everybody's stockpiling nuclear, and that's the problem with World War III. It's not going to be a war off of our shore. It's going to be nuclear war. And
Yeah.
we might have defenses up, the Iron Curtain or whatever, that's going to stop a lot of that, but we're still going to get hit with it because the nuclear storms will blow in.
Oh yeah. The
So,
radiation's
yeah.
gonna blanket the world, and where are we?
Right. Like, we might stop the missile from actually hitting the ground and exploding a lot of our neighborhoods and stuff, but the fallout is still going to be controlled by the wind.
Yeah.
So,
And we know how the wind currents go. They go all the way through the U.S. and all around the
Yeah.
world. And that's what I don't like about the way that they've been manipulating the wind currents either. But that's a different story.
oh my God, get out of here.
I just said we're not
Get out
talking
here
about
with
that right now.
Get out of here with that. But Yeah, there's a lot of weird shit that's going on that a lot of people don't realize. So here's number one. Has Biden ever talked to North Korea?
No,
No, why would he? Right?
he thinks they're terrorists, and they are, but he's more on that whole we don't negotiate with terrorists rap.
Well, here's the thing. We don't negotiate with terrorists, right?
Right.
Trump never negotiated with terrorists.
Yeah.
Trump's like, do it my way or don't. And if you don't, we're going to send a drone strike at you.
Yeah, he made it very clear what would happen.
Well, and people are all upset about that, right? So here's the thing. He was showing our strengths to everybody. They were either going to play ball or they were going to get the fuck out the way.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how America is. And everybody's so snowflakey, they're going to be the first to melt if World War III does happen.
Yeah.
We were a couple of months away from world peace, actual world peace. And people don't realize that. North Korea, Trump brought to the table.
Yeah, they didn't want to talk to anybody.
Why should he even be invited to the table? Well, here's the thing. When you have people at the table having a conversation about what's happening with the world, it goes a lot better than this dictator getting with this dictator. And look at what's happening now. China, Russia, North Korea, all talking to each other, all supporting each other. And what do they hate?
Us.
The West.
But they hate us not because they're not us, but because of what we represent.
Yes.
And
when Trump was there, he had everybody playing ball.
Yeah.
And they weren't really worried about what we represent. They were more worried about how they can make more money for their countries, how they could make their countries more profitable.
Yeah.
That's what Trump kind of put to them. I can make you profitable, or we can cut you off and make you suffer.
Yeah.
It's that simple. Like Trump said, if somebody's going to come to the United States and talk about some kind of a deal with the United States and it does not go in our favor, then they get a Happy Meal and go the fuck back home. If they do a deal and it goes in our favor, where it's a fair deal for everybody, yeah, feed them a nice $600 plate of steak.
Yeah.
Don't come over and do a losing deal and then feed our adversaries very expensive meals and send them back home. We look like the fool.
Exactly.
So, okay, say I'm an anti-gun person, and my neighbor is a gun owner, and we have a disagreement. I'm not going to go spend thousands of dollars on stuff to make my neighbor like me because I want to take his guns away.
No, that makes zero sense.
No, that makes me look like a fool. The neighbor's getting all kinds of stuff, and he's like, right the fuck on. Like, this guy's cool, but I'm keeping my guns. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Like, he may think you're pretty cool, but at the same time, he's like, what's this asshole planning?
Right. So, I'm not that way. I am pro-gun. I think that having a gun in my house to protect my house is better than somebody breaking into my house with a gun and me not having one.
Yeah.
So, hold on a second.
Okay, I'm holding. I mean, I've been waiting for you to join the game for a good minute or two.
I gotta sneeze.
Oh, okay. Bless you.
Well, this is what I'm thinking, honestly, is I can stay on subject better without playing. So you go ahead and play. And to our viewers out there, my internet is down for the moment. And that's kind of why I'm not playing, because I curse that thing a lot more when I don't have internet working than I do when the internet's halfway working.
I think I know what the real argument here is. You don't want to face me in PvP?
No.
Yeah. I see it, bro. It's okay. It's okay.
You're a super nerd. It's okay.
It's 1v1. Devin wants to do it.
Like, subscribe, and smash that notification bell. Also, check out Redneck's World.
Yeah, check him out as well. He's got a lot of content. We talk about a lot of the same subjects because we do a lot of content together. He's my brother. I try to support him. He tries to support me sometimes. I mean,
you know, when I can.
I know the couch doesn't, but
I'm the older brother, so.
No, I mean your couch isn't very supportive. That's the joke. All right. Well, this is our Clan Wang. So if you want to join, let me know. It's just me and him and the nephew whenever he gets on.
Right.
So, but yeah, let's get into a game. What game we want to do? Some Gambit, since no PvP's gonna happen.
So anyway, back on the war or no, it seems like everybody that says they don't want war, when it comes to politicians, that's exactly where they steer our country towards. Look what happened with the no taxes on the poor. They want to put more taxes on the rich. How is gas prices going up not a tax on the poor? When it costs $100 to fill a car that used to cost $20.
But bro, the poor can't drive. They can't afford a car.
Yeah, right. That's like saying the poor are just as smart as white kids.
Yeah, that's a pretty dumb saying, because white kids are also poor. Like, poorness isn't a systemic racial issue.
No, we grew up poor.
Yeah.
Our parents did get to be middle class when we got to our teens, but we did grow up poor. And I'm not rich by any means.
Yeah.
So, in fact, my little brother lives at home with his mom, so.
Hey now.
Just pointing out facts, bro.
Yeah, but.
So it's just one of those things. Rewind the movie a little.
But life is not a movie, bro. We can't just rewind it.
Hey, some parts you wish you could, some parts you wish you could.
Oh, I know.
But
talking about taxing the poor.
So, yeah, no new taxes on people that make under $40,000 a year. The problem is, you have to make almost $60,000 a year to be able to do anything outside of your house.
Right.
So without that, you're screwed. It's like, what the heck is going on here? Where just a few years ago, gas was fairly cheap and you could do something with the money that you were making.
Yeah, now gas is getting super spendy again.
So, you want to talk about war? The current president has had more wars under his belt. Look at what's going on with gasoline in the cars. They're trying to shove down these $60,000 and $80,000 cars down our throats that won't go 300 miles on a full charge.
Yeah. Oh, you want to know the dumbest thing about that is they're with our military. They're trying to do that to the military.
Yeah.
Like, why would the military benefit from having electric vehicles?
They would not. Number two, gas prices are so bad, you can't afford to drive a small car. And then you've got the war on our border. And it's not really a war on our border, it's a war on our border security.
Yeah.
Let's open the borders and let everybody in because we want our immigrants. No, we do want our immigrants, but we want them to come in legally. That way we know who we have here.
Yeah.
With illegal immigrants, you don't know who's who and what's what.
No, they're letting through so many criminals, violent criminals.
Well, yeah.
And they're like, oh, yeah, no, that's fine.
And I was thinking about writing a book, running a cartel inside the U.S. government.
Yeah. Do you know who else might write a book about that? But you might title it Running the Government.
What's that?
Joe Biden.
Well, my point of view would be from Mayorkas.
Yeah.
Because I think that guy is I think he does run the one of the cartels.
That's a possibility. Not one that I like or would favor.
Well, no. But I do think that's what's up. I do think he is running a cartel, and that's why he's the borders are open as shit. And look at what's happened. They've got wristbands. Instead of trying to fix what's going on at the border, they made a app so asylum seekers can get this app that says that they're claiming asylum.
Yeah. Well, worse than that, those who do claim asylum through this app, do you know where the money's going?
To the government.
No.
Where?
Joe. Because he sees that they're claiming asylum, so he's telling these cartels, or well, maybe not him. Somebody's telling the cartels, and they're going up to these guys going, hey, we'll get you across. And they're like, since you signed up for that app, we have another app that you have to sign up with as well. Which is the one that Joe uses and collects all his money.
Yep.
So, yeah, there's a lot of suspicion there. That's rightly so.
There's a definite war against our border from within. And then the war against Republicans.
Yeah.
I get that to a point, but here's the thing. They keep talking about our democracy. Democracy always leads to dictatorship. We are a republic.
Yes.
Republic has always been about the people. What direction do the people want to go in? Do we really want to go towards a dictatorship?
No.
We ran from a dictatorship.
Yeah, we told the dictatorship, hey, we're better at governing ourselves, which we are when it works.
When it works. When we don't have corruption, which we have currently.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, if you look at what's happening, then you could argue against it. There's still some lefties that are so left. Everything that administration says is what it is, to the T. But the problem is it's not. If they would tell you exactly what they were doing, it would be the second Civil War.
Yeah.
Because the people would not be on board with that. Make you feel like you're right in their belief.
Yeah.
So, yeah, when they say, we're not going to tax the poor, that means, and we're going to tax the rich, that means everything's going to go up in value. Everything.
Well, yeah, because that's what it's been doing.
Yeah.
You can see it for yourself.
They're going to compensate. Because they're rich friends, they're not going to tax the rich. Not directly.
Well, no, they're the rich. They want to keep their money.
Well, no, because who is their contributors? The rich. The rich are what keeps the Democrats having money to pay for their shit.
Yeah.
So the rich put money in their pockets. So they're not going to tax those people. And anybody that believes that is half retarded. What they're going to do is they're going to create things to block you from getting rich.
Yeah.
So everybody's on this kick against Trump. But here's the thing. Trump was all about the people. He was actually making things, he wanted the poor people to be the rich. Why? Because he's a rich person. This is what I tell a lot of people. If you look at, if you do any kind of training and learn about how to change your mind on what you think you know as far as money goes, a lot of things that you learn about money in our situations, however we grow up, is wrong. We were taught, go to work, get a good job, work that job until you can't work anymore, and enjoy the last 5 years of your life. That plan is retarded, and it does not work. So, you have entrepreneurs. There's classes on that stuff, and you can learn that going against the grain of what everybody else is doing can be profitable. If you're going against what everybody else is doing, you're going to find success. It's not going to be overnight. Sometimes it takes a long time. Trump was making those avenues a lot easier for people.
Yeah.
One of the things he wanted to do, and a lot of people get upset about this, is he wanted to do away with the Fed. So, the reason they get upset about it is because it's got a catchy name. The Fed. Isn't the Fed a part of the federal government? No. The federal government and the Fed are two different things. The Fed is a privately owned bank. The federal government is the federal government. So you have federal laws. The federal government does not have the capability of doing anything with money or interest rates. The Fed, that is a privately owned bank, does. They have that name, so they became the number one bank in the United States because they're called the Fed. Trump wanted to do away with the Fed. So people are like, well, what would we do to make things different, make things work without the Fed? Well, there's actually quite a bit that can be done. You could have a non-corrupt banking situation and come up with a new banking situation where you have maybe 5 banks, heads of the banks, that consult on when interest rates should go up or should go down.
Yeah. There should be a lot done with the banking.
There's a lot of different ideas that could be done. this is what's cool about getting rid of the Fed. If that banking system was just done away with, there's a lot of money there. Enough money to make every citizen, legal citizen, everybody would get $1 million check. So who's that going to help? It's going to help people that are in the dumps. It's not going to help people that have $1 million because, they got an extra $1 million, they're going to go spend it anyway.
Yeah.
It may destabilize because broke people are going to have money and they're going to spend it. Will it destabilize for long? I don't think so. The broke are always going to be the broke. They think about money in a certain way, and they're going to buy the things that they've always wanted, and they're never going to change their mind. There are a few that might, because they have been thinking about it for a long time, and they want to do something different, so they're going to do what they do. But it's going to stabilize. It's not going to destabilize the United States.
No, there's a lot of things that is not going to destabilize the U.S. But
right.
Because they like their rule and they like their control, they're going to say it will.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing is the Fed, every time we have a issue with currency, every time we have close to a depression, which is happening now, the Fed raises interest rates. Now, why would he do that? Why would the Fed, not he, but they, why would they up interest rates when people don't hardly have the money to pay for shit?
Well, so they'd have less money to pay for stuff.
Right. It makes it harder for people to buy new things.
Yeah, it keeps us locked into this class difference.
Yes.
Which we are not a class-based society.
No.
So why do they keep trying to do that to us?
Because they're going for dictatorship.
Yeah. Dictatorships have class-based societies.
Yes,
they have
do.
the rich, the poor, and that's it. Those are the two classes. You're either rich or you're poor, and they want you to stay that way.
The biggest war that they have going on right now is the war on the middle class.
No, there's a bigger war. The war on cash. Why do you think they keep trying to get us to go onto cryptocurrencies and other...
But that goes along with what I'm talking about.
They do go hand in hand.
On the middle class, because here's the thing. If you're too broke to get into crypto, you're not going to get into crypto.
Well, if you're also...
rich enough to get into crypto, then you're rich enough to get into crypto, and if it goes in your favor, you're going to always be rich enough to be into that. You're going to be rich, considered rich. When it comes to this American dollar thing, when they do this American dollar, electronic dollar thing that they're talking about, which is dumb as shit, they're going to be able to control your buying and selling habits. So if you...
Oh, you're talking about the ESG.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a social construct that does not work.
Well, and look at what they're doing with credit right now. So I can have bad credit and I want to buy something. I could, if you bought something on your good credit, I could use a part of your good credit to buy something for me, even though I have horrible credit. And I don't even know you.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
No.
Somebody worked their butt off to get really good credit. They should be able to afford the things that they want because they worked their butt off to get good credit. Because credit is a hard thing to deal with.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that a lot of our listeners probably have really crappy credit. And I've got bad credit. My wife, on the other hand, has really good credit. So she did that by getting herself out of debt. She's worked really hard to get that good credit. I had good credit at one point. And when I bought the stuff that I wanted on my good credit, I ended up getting screwed over. And that sucks. And that's where my credit went into the toilet. So it can happen. But
Yeah.
it is a hard thing to keep on top of and keep everything going up. So yeah, when they're after all of that, like, holy crap, and then you want to put the dollar on a socialist thing, and they're not even trying to fight against the Japanese or whatever.
The Japanese.
Take over the world currency with the yen.
Yeah, you're talking not Japanese, but the Chinese.
Chinese, yeah. Yeah, they want their currency to be the world's
Dollar. They want to be the world standard.
the world standard, yeah. And that's the thing, like, the United States, the way we built our country, if you look at history, is so awesome because we were a little unknown territory that became a country and then became a world power, and then our currency became the world's standard, and no shit, people want to come here. The American dream is a worldwide phenomenon.
Yeah, it's
We
a
have these
dream for a
snowflake
reason.
motherfuckers that want to give away rights, and they don't care that the government's stepping on everything that's been built.
Yeah.
This is a thing, like, we're entitled to a small government, not a big government. An overgrown government is a tyrannical government. And that government, when they start telling you how you can and cannot live your lives, they're telling you what you can and can't do inside your own house with closed doors. Like,
Right.
what the fuck? That's overreach.
Yeah. Yeah, they're trying to grow government as big as they can, because they don't believe that if you're poor, you should be able to elevate yourself out of being poor.
Right.
And that's very visible when you look at what they've been doing to our cities
Yep.
and letting over the illegal immigrants the way they're not immigrants. I gotta quit using that word. The illegal aliens that keep coming over across the border, because they're invaders is what they are. They're coming.
Yeah, they're not coming here legally.
Yeah. So they're coming in to destroy what we have built, or what other people have worked hard for their whole life, especially the ones who do come through the immigration system properly. Those people have it the worst, because then it's like, oh, the government's just spitting in your face for doing the right thing.
Right.
We used to never punish the good. Now we are.
Right.
So that doesn't make sense to me. But back to the point I was getting at. They're destroying jobs. They're destroying the market. Why? Why are they destroying all this stuff?
Right.
That it does, like, communities and homes, the safety. Tupac even said he wanted more cops. He didn't want to be sleeping next to a murderer. That's Tupac. That was a prominent rapper who grew up in the ghetto, who rose above it.
Yeah, Tupac was from the streets. That's why Tupac was so respected, was because he was from that life.
Yeah.
And, yeah, when he said, yeah. And it's so funny, too, because nobody's calling Biden a racist, how many black people has Biden even hung out with?
I can only think of one, and I am not calling him that. But his name is Charlemagne. I'm just not giving him his full title because that's bullshit.
Right.
No man should call himself a god. All right.
No.
It's wrong.
And how much mental illness is getting spread around because this guy that's in the office doesn't know his ass from a hole in the ground?
Well, that's a different subject entirely because there's been mental illness going crazy forever now.
No. When we're letting men into women's sports, we're giving the transsexuals their own bathrooms.
No, they're giving them the women's bathrooms and the men's bathrooms. Our bathrooms. They're not separating them. They're trying to get rid of that. They're letting men into women's bathrooms and women into men's. That's what they're doing.
Regardless, it's mental illness and it's spreading like wildfire.
Yes.
How many children have to suffer?
At the hands of that lunacy? That's a good question.
Right, because they're already they've had sex changes, and these kids are like, wait a second, I made a mistake. I really want to be a boy, or I really want to be a girl.
Or worse, which is what is the thing that keeps happening, is they're like, oh, well, I guess I gotta die now. Since I'm unhappy, miserable, I thought this thing was gonna make me happy. That's what they do. There's a lot of regret.
It's like forced mental illness.
Yes.
It's so ridiculous.
It is.
I don't understand why they would insist on this insanity.
Well, because it helps push their narrative.
The statistic, right? And they want more gay people, but the gay population is still only 1%.
Yeah.
And then it's only 1% of gays that are trans. So why are we dealing to this not even 1%?
Yeah.
Most of the gay community is upset with what's going on with the gay community.
Yeah.
That they're part of politics.
Yeah, they're because it's not helping their agenda, which is what the whole Dylan Mulvaney thing, why so many people are mad about that. And it's like, well, yeah, he shouldn't have. But the Democrats are really mad about that because then it brought their stuff into the light a lot faster than they wanted to. Yeah. Because they've been slowly pushing these advocacy groups.
Well, the Dylan Mulvaney thing, so there are gay bars that will not sell Bud Light.
Yeah.
There are gay people that will not buy Nike shoes. And the reason is Dylan Mulvaney that's not the person that is the spokesperson for trans or gay. That is a fake person through and through that is making fun of women when he does his little show. And for Budweiser to do what he did, that was dumb as shit. We're all inclusive. Well, no. And then to call their customer base what do they call whiny, snivelly customer base?
I don't know what they called everybody who drinks Budweiser, Bud Light, any of the beer that Anheuser-Busch makes. But
they're all rednecks.
Yeah.
A lot of them are rednecks, hillbillies. They're not whiny, snivelly. They will...
No, they're the hard-working Americans that make America work.
Yes.
And those are the people they want to judge?
When you piss off that base, you've done fucked up.
Yeah. That just helps those who are like, no, America should be first.
Yeah. So in the Anheuser-Busch thing, I won't drink Anheuser-Busch. I've never really enjoyed Bud Light, but I used to like Budweiser.
Yeah.
And I won't drink a Bud Light at all. And yeah, people say, well, Coors is just as bad. Well, that may be.
Well, there's no agenda attached.
What's that?
There's no agenda attached with Coors Light, as far as I know.
And that's true. Coors Brewing Company didn't piss off their customer base.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Just because of Budweiser, the whole Anheuser-Busch company is
Suffering.
And suffering because of one stupid thing.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of stupid going around right now, and beer is beer. Beer should not be getting into politics. Phone companies should not be getting into politics. There's so many things that should not be getting into politics.
Right.
Why are they? Like,
what was the question?
Why are they? Why are so many of these companies getting into politics?
Well, because they're promised that it's going to pay. Somebody in the corporate world thinks that being political with their job is going to make things better for their company. When in reality, it's called go woke and go broke for a reason. So I hate that saying altogether because I'm a simple man. I take things for what they are. And I'm thinking when you say that you're woke, that your eyes are open to what's going on. But that is not what it means. It pretty much means that their eyes are closed to what's actually going on. They're awake to what's in their face.
Yeah.
But it's behind the scenes that they're closed to. Because, yeah, we're going to make this political statement and go, hey, trans people are great.
Yeah.
But then what happens is they're closing their doors behind them because they pissed off their customer base that didn't think they were political at all. Like, why would a beer company be political at all? So, yeah, it kind of makes no sense. You still there, bro?
Yeah, I'm still here. Just in the middle of the boss fight.
Oh.
Which you're not even watching the stream, so I'd like to take this moment to say if you are watching the stream, please like, subscribe, comment, talk shit to us later. We're all good. We're all inclusive.
Notification bell.
We're all inclusive. Really. Really, we are.
We are. We'll talk about anything and anybody.
Especially anybody.
So you're a fag. We'll talk about you. Or to you. Probably to you is better.
Maybe.
Listen, here's the thing. I've got some friends that are gay that are conservatives. There are gay conservatives out there, and I think that's the coolest thing.
Gay conservatives? Do you mean there's black conservatives too? That sounds racist.
Yeah, I've got
that
some
sounds
black
sexist.
friends that are conservative, Hispanic friends that are, they say they're liberal, but they have conservative beliefs.
Yeah.
And that's the thing I think that's been missed a lot is black people by trait are liberal, but their beliefs are not this far left belief.
No, I tend to think that they're a bit more center than on the left when you actually talk to them and get their opinions on the issues.
Well, and like the Hispanic people are traditionally left-leaning. Well, not left-leaning, they're liberal. But
Yeah.
even though they have deep beliefs like that, they are finding that they're their beliefs are more traditional to the right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, these weird leftist agendas, like, we thought the Green New Deal was just a joke, and it's a real thing. The making buildings have less of a carbon footprint, that's a real thing. This is the thing. America does have a big heart. So when it comes down to, and this is the thing a lot of people don't realize, just because I'm conservative and I'm like, listen, I'm not giving that shit up. I'm not giving my guns up. I'm not driving an electric car. You know, I'm not doing that. Doesn't mean that I don't have a heart for what's going on. So yeah.
I think it means you care more about what's going on.
Well, yes.
Because you're willing to do the hard thing instead of just appeasing an agenda that doesn't want anything to do with you.
Well, and this is the thing. When it comes to my gasoline car, I know that car will run 1,000,000 miles if I took care of it. An electric car, who knows how many miles? They haven't been around long enough to actually see how many miles they're going to have on them. Electric cars have been around for a long, long time. And with it, there's always a drawback. They're always more expensive. The first electric cars were more expensive than a non-electric car. And I say it that way because there were a few different fuel options. Steam power was the king out of every option of car you could get. You had the steam power cars, you had gasoline powered cars, you had the electric cars. The steam power cars had more power until they found a way to make the gasoline run more efficient in the engine.
Yeah.
Then the gasoline cars became king. Not only that, gasoline production ended up going up. So we had more gasoline to feed these cars that ran on gasoline. But this is the thing, the United States has the most strict laws and regulations on creating something that burns emissions. So, and the states are doing different things, like California's nuts. Their laws and rules always suck.
Agreed.
But, like Washington State doesn't have emissions laws like California does. We had them for a little while. They did a test and they found that cars ran more efficient than they thought they were. So they did away with those.
Yeah.
And newer cars run more efficient than anything. So then they're pushing these electric cars. The electric car is harder on the environment to build and destroy than the gas car. From the time it's built, goes through its whole life and is destroyed at the end. The fossil fuel car is less harmful on the environment during all of that time.
Yes.
And I can drive it for 1,000,000 miles.
Yes.
So,
yeah, gasoline engines are great.
Well, not only this. So, if every American in America had a car, one single car for every American. Now, not everybody does have one car. Some people don't have cars. Some people have multiple cars.
Yeah.
So just to draw a hard line in the sand, say every single American that is of age has a single car, right?
Right.
just to give an average, the laws and emissions on every one of those cars, no matter how strict or unstrict they are, is not going to impact the world's environment. Now, you take 50% of people in, let's say, China. China likes to copy stuff, but their efficiency laws are way less restrictive. So they can do stuff with no muffler. They can do stuff with, like, no CO2 restrictions. So they're just putting raw fuel into the air. Us doing all this stuff over here, like driving electric cars, is not going to help.
No.
So say in Europe, everybody drives a diesel, right? Not a big diesel truck, but like a Volkswagen Passat diesel. Everybody drives something like that.
Yeah.
Those are going to put off pretty good emissions. And then, where's the other place with the old cars? Cuba.
Yeah,
Every
Cuba.
Cuban has a 426 Hemi and a 427 Cobra Jet, and you know those crazy old high horsepower cars, but they're not running efficient because you can't get parts for them. So you have bad spark plugs. So some of them are running raw fuel through the exhaust, misfires and stuff like that, and the car's not running efficient. That's going to put a lot more emissions into the air. So how is me driving an electric car going to help with that? Oh, I'm doing my part? No, I'm really not. Because for one, I'm helping strip mine China to get the parts to build my electric car. And does anybody know where they're getting disposed of when they die?
Yeah, that's a good question, because
For all I know, it's Indonesia.
I was going to say that I don't think they know much, because you don't hear about it.
Well, no, you
People don't want to hear about it. I think's the other problem, because like it doesn't affect me. It doesn't. I'm good. And it's like, well, hold on.
Right. So we go one place, get crazy ass chemicals to build a car for me to use in another country that has nothing to do with that first country.
Yeah.
Use it until it's dead. Then it has to. You can't just go to a junkyard. So what if it does? What if it just goes to a junkyard? Well, the batteries have to be disposed of. They're not going to do that disposal in the United States. They're going to do it in another country that's okay with taking the harmful chemicals. So now we're disposing of a harmful chemical thing in another country, infecting that country with shit.
Yeah.
But my non-emission car is sitting in the junkyard for 30 fucking years because, you know, everybody else has the same style car. Not. Look at what's happened with Tesla already. They've done a bunch of different changes on their models.
Yeah, and they dropped the price again recently, which is like, why are you dropping the price on this car? Well, to help keep sales up. But
for one, this is how I've always looked at Tesla. Now, there's nothing wrong with Elon Musk. He's a great guy, really good business plan, obviously, very smart guy. But his cars have been known to be poor build quality. And when I first seen a Tesla, I thought it was more like the Honda of electric cars.
well, hold on. You can't say that until you see the Fords that they're building.
The Fords?
Yeah, the Fords and the Chevys. They're like, you know, Chevy with their electrical issues, them building an electric vehicle is not a good idea.
Yeah, they can't build a gas car worth a fuck.
Yeah.
But this is why I say that. How popular was Honda?
You're asking the wrong guy.
You should know most of all. You hate them.
Yeah.
Honda's very popular. They're everywhere. Right? Now, the Japanese market came to the United States and blew American cars away. Why? They were cheap and reliable. That's the only reason. When Tesla came on scene, it was neither cheap nor reliable. But they're everywhere, just like a Honda. Ford and Chevy made ridiculous plans, even though they have an SUV named the Mustang. We talk about it. Why? Because it's not a Mustang. It's a Ford Explorer with a horse on it.
Yeah.
It's a Ford Explorer with sequential taillights.
Sequential tail. That's a funny one.
But you can't call it a Ford Explorer because it's an electric car. And Explorer rhymes with exploder.
Yeah, that's the other problem with the Ford, with the Mach-E Mustang, is they got rid of the exploder part.
Yeah.
The gas, the thing that actually makes it move.
Well, no, I mean, I get what they're doing, but at the same time, they couldn't call it the Explorer because it would have the nickname Exploder.
Yeah.
And that's the thing Ford has learned is, well, they don't want anything to do with exploding.
Yeah, you would think. You know that thing had heated bumpers, right?
Uh-huh.
The Pinto, you know that thing had heated bumpers, right? That way you could push it in the snow and not worry about your hands freezing.
Yeah, and if you tap the bumper hard enough, the fucker exploded.
Well, that's fair about most cars.
No, the Ford Pinto. Dude, do you know nothing about cars?
No, I was just going off of if you hit a car with the bumper hard enough, has the chance.
I'm trying to make a joke, but the problem is the Ford Pinto
I know, you're serious.
Had a problem with the gas tank.
Yeah.
With the way it was placed.
Yeah.
Before the Pinto was brought out, Ford rushed it into production, just like they did the Mustang, and knew it had a problem. The Mustang didn't have a problem, but the Pinto did. And when the Pinto came out, Ford knew it had a problem, and it knew how to fix it, but never did. So if you got rear-ended at 5 miles an hour, the gas tank would rupture. The shape of the car would put the gasoline onto the driver, and it would explode.
Yeah.
Burning the driver and all the occupants in the car to death, which is a horrible way to die.
Yeah.
And it hurt Ford.
For a moment.
Then they had a recall, and then they did end up fixing the gas tank problem on the Pinto, but the Pinto was still never really a very popular car. Until they turned it into a Mustang. So,
yeah.
But to put the Mustang on an Explorer chassis and call it a Mustang, that's one of those things that a lot of people hate. But people talk about it. And some people are assholes, and they're like, you know what? I'm going to go buy me a Ford Mustang Mach-E because y'all say it sucks. I'm going to go get me one. And they'll go get it. And they'll tell you they love it even though they hate that motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get driving around and people say they love the way it looks even though they don't.
Yeah, no, it is definitely very weird. The odd things people do just because, like, oh, yeah, I'm good. It's like, well, hold on, that cost you this.
There's always hype about these new electric cars too, right?
Yeah.
So when the Mach-E was coming out, they had a Mach-E GT. And what they did was Hoonigan took one and decked it out and made it a drift machine. I have not heard anything about that car since it was built and debuted.
Well, yeah, you know why, right? Well, not only that, but they can't keep it. They can't drive it to events.
Well, no, I bet they can't.
No, doesn't have enough juice by the time they get to the event to do the event.
Right. Well, no, I'm just saying, you know, there's always hype around these cars, like the new C8 Corvette mid-engine. So Chevrolet finally got the balls to copy Lamborghini, and it ended up being a poor thing to do.
Yeah.
Because the car looks like crap, for one. They're not very fast, for two. And they have issues straight out of the box, for three. Now, if I'm going to spend $60, $70, even $100,000 on a car, and the valve covers leak from the first time I drive it, I'm going to take it back to the dealer and I'm going to put my foot in his ass.
Yeah.
Because I'm not dealing with shit like that. I want my stuff to work from day one.
Yeah.
Because that's how it should work.
Yeah, and which brings me back to your favorite car subject, Honda. They do produce cars that come from the factory with defects, with their turbos, their electrical. I'm surprised they don't go, oh yeah, we just need to get rid of the VVTi system. Oh, sorry, that was the Vortex system. Or, no, that was the wrong one, wasn't it? VTEC? Yeah, VTEC's their system they need to get rid of.
Oh my God.
Because it's a junk system.
I know that Hondas come from the factory with defects, yes.
That's the biggest one, though.
But here's the thing. Kia.
Yeah, I don't trust them bastards.
Yeah, they come from the factory with defects.
Yeah. I don't drive a Kia, do I?
No. You drive the Scion, which is
no, I don't.
Toyota.
I have one.
Which is a byproduct of GM right now.
Yeah. GM and Chevy and yeah.
So you had a Scion that was, you know, like you got Chevrolet and then you got Toyota, then you got Scion, which is like byproduct to byproduct.
But that's not my current vehicle.
No, now you're driving something good, which is a Subaru.
Yeah. I think it's pretty good.
You know what else is Subaru that nobody knew?
What's that? Saab?
Polaris.
Oh, Polaris?
Polaris.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I like them. They make good snowmobiles.
Yeah, they do. And, yeah, toys you can play with out in the woods. But, like, it's funny how, you know, like, people drive the Toyota pickups. And when you look at a Chevrolet and you look at a Toyota, what made you buy the Toyota? And they're super popular. I don't understand why the Toyota Tundra, Tundra, is such a popular truck.
I can tell you why.
Why?
The name.
Tundra?
Nope. Toyota. It used to be meaning quality. Not so much on the newer trucks. The older trucks, they had that legendary 22 RE motor.
Yeah, when they were just being Toyota.
Yeah, when it was just...
When they wanted to get into NASCAR and they started talking with GM about it, and GM said, well, why don't we partner up? That's when Toyota lost its quality.
Yes, that is exactly when they lost their quality, because they then applied to a different notion.
They got into NASCAR, which ultimately should have helped the brand, and it did. Well, then they broke into the big truck market, which they were always in the small truck market.
Yeah.
So now they're broke into the big truck market with this piece of shit truck.
Well, yeah, because Chevy saw an opportunity there with Toyota to take out Ford on their little truck.
It didn't really work.
No, but they tried.
The Ford Ranger stuck around until the Chevy S10 was done.
Yeah. Not only that...
The Dodge Dakota is still around.
Yeah. And people drive those things wrong. Not the people who buy them and own them, other people who let them drive their truck.
Right.
Yeah, no, I was talking to somebody, they were like, oh yeah, I let this guy drive my truck. Apparently through a puddle, and he broke it. Why did he break it? I don't know, but he threw a rod through the block. I can tell you exactly why.
Why?
Wrapping it out, 6-7 grand, playing around. You don't do that to a Dodge. They're not designed for that. They're designed to haul a lot of shit. Yeah, they're a great, strong truck when driven correctly.
I don't know.
What are you talking about? You own several of them.
Yeah.
But you have the bigger V8 as well. Well, V10.
I have a V10, yeah.
Yeah.
Which I'm currently selling, by the way.
Yeah. That's a good segue.
Right.
I'm giving you time to promote your truck, and you're just like, yeah. Don't want to promote your V10. I see.
I love the truck. It's the V10. We supercharged it. It's a great truck. But there's a couple other things I want to do and get going. And the truck being sold would help me do a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we are currently selling that. And we're going to see what happens. If it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, then I'll keep it. If you're interested, let me know. Again, look at my channel.
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun with the truck. Not as much as other people would have liked, but, you know, it's some.
Well, now it's got 40-inch tires. We re-geared it to 488 gears. It really gets down the road good. I've got a couple of things to work out on it still, but they're little things, and I can fix that pretty quick.
Yeah.
So we put a boost gauge in. Like, there's all kinds of stuff that we did, and it's pretty awesome. But and honestly, the gas hasn't been bad on the thing at all, really. Even though the gas prices are higher, it used to cost $100 to fill it. Now it costs about $150 to fill it.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
Yeah. And the gas, but, you know, you would be able to fill that thing up in a lot quicker time than you would an EV. I don't like that term. An electric vehicle.
Yeah, because what are they... Now the charging stations that they're wanting to put in, oh, that's the other thing. When I go put gas in my truck and I drive off, I'm not causing rolling blackouts because I'm not using the power grid that only works enough to power
a toaster
in the grid.
Yeah, I mean, there's also plenty of places for you to get power. You don't have to rely on a shoddy, maybe placed thing that may or may not give you power and give you a full charge unless you're there for X amount of time.
Yep.
Because that's another truth that they don't want to tell you about when it comes to electric vehicles. It takes so much more power than what's actually available, and they don't have anything wired into the grid. They have to set them up, pull power from the grid. They're now forcing us to use what is it? Wind and solar to power these things. Like, no, that's not reliable.
No. Whoa. So let me stop you there.
Okay.
Wind and solar. We live in Washington State.
We do.
Solar's not going to get the job done by itself.
No, it's not.
Number two, wind is so damn expensive to get going. You live close to windmills.
Oh, yes. I can tell.
Those things running.
Never. They're never running.
They're never running. Why?
Well,
Because
because
the maintenance on the things are so expensive to keep up that when they do run it, they have to make sure it's a super windy day so that thing is producing enough power to cover the cost of running it.
yes,
Those towers are what, $1 million a piece to put up?
at least some of the maintenance costs alone are more than $1 million. But
Yeah.
that's what I was getting at.
So, okay, they want us to run solar and electric power. Solar is a very viable source because it's supposed to be inexpensive and produces quite a bit of power. Enough power that you could sell back to the power company. The problem with it is, it was cheap.
Yeah.
Now it's expensive as fuck.
Yeah.
So the other problem is you can sell power back to the power companies. Now they're doing this thing where you can't sell them power, they're just going to take it back.
Yeah.
So you still have a power bill, and you're not going to be able to profit off of that. So, man, I'm getting tired.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I know it's a long conversation, but it's worth it.
Well, they're screwing the people that are making things work for them. There used to be a saying, don't bite the hand that feeds. The people paying their bills are the hand. Your salary comes from the people paying the bills. You want to not have a salary, piss people off enough to not pay their bills.
Exactly.
Your company is going to go out of freaking business because now you have no money in the business to pay yourself.
Exactly. But, there's only a few people that think like we do. Like, okay, I shouldn't say that. I'm saying there's few people in power that think like you and I do.
This is the thing. Say there was a Rico's Pizza by your place, right? We love Rico's Pizza in California. I don't think you remembered it, but say there was a Rico's Pizza by your place. And
Yeah.
it was a big restaurant because they were doing very well for themselves, right? They're making good pizza. People are loving it. People are coming by all the time.
Okay.
All of a sudden, something happens. They change their sauce or something. People don't like the pizza as much. Next thing you know, nobody is eating at Rico's Pizza. What's going to happen to that business?
Well, it's gonna suffer and die.
Yeah, it's going to go under. Next thing you know, a car lot buys the building because it's a big enough building they can run the car lot out of. Because Rico's Pizza closed their doors because nobody's buying their freaking food anymore.
Because nobody can afford their food.
Right. So it's like Domino's. Domino's is a lot bigger company.
Yep.
They started on a whim, a chance. They found something that they thought they could sell, and they started their company. They almost went under a couple of different times. But they found a way to prevail and created a very large company.
Yes.
If the country stopped eating pizza, any type of pizza, Domino's, Pizza Hut, if the whole country just said, you know what, pizza is really just gross. It doesn't matter what toppings we've been fighting over for years. Pizza is just not where it's at anymore. We don't want the stuff. We're going to not eat pizza.
I think you're wrong about that, bro. Just because pineapple belongs on pizza.
Pineapple is a fruit.
It's good.
Not belong on a pizza.
Then why do we have Hawaiian?
Oh, shut up.
Those valid arguments.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm saying, though.
Yes, yes.
We know that's not going to happen because look at the statistics on pizza. People eat so many slices of pizza
A day,
their
a
whole
year.
life.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous how much Americans eat pizza, but and the American pizza is different than what pizza was supposed to be.
Yes.
We've made it good. Pizza was not a good thing in Italy. The Italian pizza was actually just very plain. But that being said, that would close the whole pizza market down, and every pizza place would close their doors because, well, nobody's eating pizza, and nobody thinks it could ever happen. It could happen. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But it could happen. If you grew up and never had pizza in your life in America, when you got to be 30 or 40 years old, you wouldn't want pizza because you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
If mom and dad went out to eat pizza as a couple's dinner and never brought us, it was just their thing, and we had, whatever we make at home, or, we had steaks or whatever. It's not like when you eat pizza and then, like, I bought some sherbet ice cream the other day, and I just had this weird, like, nostalgic feeling when I bought it. And my wife asked me, she goes, "What did you get?" I'm like, "I got sherbet ice cream." And she's like, "Oh, whatever. Why'd you get that?" And I'm like, when I was little, I hated this stuff. Because it was sherbet ice cream. It was very tart. It wasn't, when you said you wanted ice cream, you didn't want that when you were a kid.
Yeah.
But something was in my head, and I'm like, I gotta buy some sherbet ice cream. And I brought it home, and we all enjoyed it. And it was like, yeah, that same taste was there, that this isn't what I wanted as far as ice cream goes. But that nostalgic thought in my head was there of, wow, I remember this when I was a kid. This is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Not like the flavor had changed any. And that's probably one of those things that will probably never change, because why change it? They're not going to have a better flavor of sherbet ice cream. It just is what it is, and it's a popular thing, and a lot of people buy it. But I remember our aunts and uncles and everything, they would buy that stuff for whatever reason. And when the kids said they wanted ice cream, and it was probably because it was cheap,
yeah.
when the kids said they wanted ice cream, that's what we got. And it's like, man, I never wanted to ask for ice cream when I was a kid because I knew what I was going to get.
Yeah, you're going to get sherbet. If you're lucky, you might get French vanilla. Which,
if you were lucky.
I like French vanilla. A lot of people are kind of odd about it, but it's like, eh.
Yeah, I like French vanilla sometimes. It's not an everyday kind of treat, but sometimes.
Yeah. Like, there's very few ice creams that we're just allowed to have, and that's usually because we bought it. Or somebody in the house is like, I want this ice cream, fuck that sherbet shit.
Well, and
So.
I remember growing up, and, like, my friends could tell me about all Ben & Jerry's 30-something flavors. And I'm like, I know of, like, 2.
Yeah. And it wasn't Ben and Jerry.
There was chocolate, there was mint chocolate chip, and vanilla.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's all we really knew. And then, did Ben & Jerry's even have a sherbet?
I don't think
know.
they did.
I think that was, like, some kind of weird company. But that's what we had.
Yeah.
And, like, the orange had, like, that acidy kind of taste, and the same thing with the new sherbet that we bought. And it was just a nostalgic thing. It was kind of weird, you know. And there's some things like people don't go to. It's like they had a bad experience one time with something, and they'll never go back to that memory.
Yeah.
But sometimes there was a good part in that bad memory that they're forgetting about.
Yeah. Well, it's like,
So like,
I got a great example of this. Because growing up, we used to go to the movies all the time as kids, right?
yeah, yeah,
And every once in a while, when we went to the movies, we would pick a bad movie.
yeah.
And it's like, shit, now we got to watch this movie we didn't realize that was playing because the theater just, we weren't smart enough to take a look at the list before going. We would just go.
Right.
And the movie
Our
Selena.
theater didn't have a list of movies. It was
No, well, yeah, not like we do now. But
no, it was one movie. Like the movies were at a certain time.
yeah,
You had
it's
to be
that
in line,
movie
stand in
all
line,
week.
Watch that one movie, and that was it.
Yeah. But the movie I was getting at is the movie Selena. As a kid, I didn't like it. I didn't understand what the concept was about.
Right.
And it's like I don't care to watch it ever again. But as an adult, I think about that movie and be like, they were trying to tell us a lot more about what was going on in the world.
Yeah.
Like there's some cultural things there that are like, oh shit.
Right. Well, and remember watching Western movies.
Yeah. With Clint Eastwood and
Yeah.
the other big star I can't think of at the moment.
We're like, this is so boring. Why are we watching a Western?
Yeah.
Right? Well, then, as an adult, I'm like,
Where's the Western?
you know, I
what channel is it on?
I understand it more, and I'm like, holy crap, like, okay.
Yeah, it showed real people in our eyes doing real things,
Right.
or the best job that they could at the job that they were given. Because some movies they were pretty bad.
Well, and it's a little taste of nostalgia, you know. And my kids, they're like, "Why are you watching westerns, Dad?" I'm like, "I don't know. This is real acting."
Yeah,
You know, like this movie we're watching right now, Free Guy. Ryan Reynolds is a hell of an actor.
yeah, he's great.
There's a lot they can do with editing today,
Yeah,
where, oh my gosh, the Duke.
yeah,
They couldn't edit that shit out. If he made a mistake, it stayed in for the most part.
yeah. They didn't have the budgets. There was so much that they didn't have, and I was like, this is amazing.
Well, a big thing is the technology.
Yeah,
You know, they could put graphics on and they could do this and that, and they could edit some stuff, but not like now they could put it through and do the whole movie in
yeah,
an editor, and it comes out as a movie, and you're like, holy crap, that works. Let's put that out. I'm sure they still have a lot of technical work they got to do, but you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot easier today than it was back then to make some cool looking shit on TV.
yeah. Yeah, I do like some of the westerns, but I kind of liked them when we were growing up. So I could have just been the odd man out there.
You could have been. I thought they were boring as hell, and I'm like, why are we watching?
Some of them were.
The movies with I can't remember his name, man. He had like he almost looked Asian, with the short, kind of mid-length hair and the mustache. And
Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, that guy was kind of boring. He played a cop in a couple of movies too.
Right. Well, he was a badass. He played the vigilante.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he was a badass. Like that dude was a badass, but yeah, he was kind of boring in his movies. And Dad used to love his movies.
yeah,
I don't think I could watch one of those movies today and be like, yeah, this is cool. I still probably would think the way I did.
yeah,
But I'm like, holy cow, man! Like, kind of that touch of nostalgia.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm definitely there with you because I got bored of some of the movies growing up, and some movies I'm like, I wish I watched more of.
Well, and this is what I love. When you get an old car, and I remember I got that car for Alicia when we were just dating.
Yeah.
And it was ugly on the outside. It was like a midnight blue, but it was beat up. The paint was flaking off. Like it had a lot of lacquer crack going through it. Like on the outside of the car, it really looked like shit. But when you opened that door and you sat in that driver's seat, it took you right back to 1964.
Oh yeah, I like seeing cars with 8-track players.
Right.
That I don't know what it is, but yeah, it's like I didn't grow up in that era, but something about that car is like this is history.
Yeah, you didn't grow up there, but when you sit in that seat and you see like that car had the most perfect interior, and I mean it still had the owner's manual in the car.
Yeah,
it was brand new. You can see the options the car came with, which was pretty cool when you think about it. 1964, it had electric windows, heated seats, like all kinds of stuff that we take for granted now. But it's like, holy crap, you get in that car and you're in 1964 for a minute.
Yeah.
Like, holy cow, this is neat.
Yeah.
But then you come back to reality and you're like, it's just an old car. Like, this is cool.
But where's my music? Where's my...
Right. Well, I don't think enough people get to experience that. And I remember the first time I hooked up a battery to it, and I was like, it's got the Christine headlights.
Yeah.
And that was a weird thing about that car. You turn the headlights on, and they would slowly come on, and next thing you know, they were bright. But they would just slowly come on from dim to brighter, 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 to finally being on.
Yeah.
And I never got that car to start.
Yeah, well, I mean, like you said, it had the Christine headlight. Maybe it had her attitude.
There was something going on with it.
Uh-huh.
But, you know, it's just like, I miss weird shit like that. Maybe that's why I'm such a car hoarder today.
I don't know if it's that, because I think we both have a craving of changing cars. I wouldn't say craving. Just meaning like we change cars a lot. we enjoy the car when we have it, and then the next thing you know, we're driving something else, and they're like, "What was wrong with that car?" Nothing. It was a great car. Then why aren't you driving it now? I like this one.
It's not new enough, or you know, this one's got different features or whatever.
This one's got really good seat warmers, comfortable seat.
I want a newer car. Like I would like to have something that's got, you know, the navigation on the dash, and like it would be cool to have something that's newer.
Yeah.
But I don't have to have it because I do love messing with my old cars. Like, there's something to be said about having old cars.
Yeah. And it's not that we can't afford them or we can afford them. It's
right.
It's more to it than that.
There is, yeah. And some people will understand, some people won't.
Yeah.
Because, and it's the way you and I grew up, a lot of people don't realize this, but a car is more than just A to B. A car is more than just get in it, drive it, make sure it's got fuel. And to a lot of people, I've realized cars are more of an inconvenience to them.
Yeah.
And to me, it's a statement.
To me, it's a lifeline. It's freedom. It's
a lifeline. It is
so
freedom,
much.
But it's also a statement. When you do a custom car and people are like, holy crap, that is cool, then that's a statement. When you do a custom car and they're like, what kind of ricer did you build? you know you did something wrong.
Yeah.
But that's when you go back to the drawing board and go, okay, so, you know, maybe painting my yellow car with some purple mirrors and purple stripes and yellow and purple fucking wheels is not the right thing to do.
Or putting a dick down the side that says Mike likes cock.
Right.
I mean, I haven't done that recently.
But, or, you know, like the Golf paint scheme doesn't really work on my Ford Focus.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, like, go back and look at what you've done and go, okay, that doesn't look good there. It would look more sleek. And this is what I was taught when I was doing cars, was if you're going to customize it, make it appear like it's supposed to be there. So,
Yeah.
that being said, a lot of people can't figure that out. What it is like when you do a hood scoop or a spoiler or
Make it look like
ground effect,
it came there factory.
but well, make it look like it's supposed to be there,
Yeah.
even though it's not supposed to be there. So you put some ground effects on the car. Just because you put them on the car doesn't mean they look cool. You gotta do some mod to make it look like it's supposed to be on the car like that.
Yeah.
And then when you look at your car sitting next to another car that doesn't have that mod, you're like, holy crap, mine looks so much cooler and cleaner than that car that doesn't have that mod.
Or when you do run against another car that has that same mod, you can be like, mine looks better, because
Yeah.
it would.
Mine fits better. Where
Yeah.
theirs looks like it's going to fall off at any moment.
Yeah, it's got a gap between the wheel and the fender, or it's
Yeah.
got, you know, you can then critique it and be like, okay, this is what I should have done better. If
Right.
you run across that and somebody has done better. And it's like, oh, okay, that's what I need to do. Or, you know.
Yeah. So, I mean,
There's a lot to it.
but that's the thing, like, when it comes to politics, it comes to cars, it comes to whatever you're doing in life, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it. So do the hard thing. Do something that makes you think. Because if you're doing stuff that doesn't make you think, you're losing.
Yep.
If you do stuff that makes you think, you're winning. Because you're thinking. You're using your head, you're using your mind power to make something happen for you that wouldn't normally happen.
Correct.
And that's what we're all looking for. We're all looking for that golden opportunity, right?
Yes.
And then you have those people that have those golden opportunities dropped in their lap all the time. You're probably not that guy or girl. You're going to be somebody that's needing to make that opportunity happen for themselves. So you have to think and make that opportunity happen. So when it comes to the conversation of politics, don't lean so far to one side that you can't have a conversation. Have a conversation. Think about what's happening. Think about what you're being told, and think about what you're wanting to say.
And
Because you
and
might realize that you are on the side that you didn't think you were on to start off with.
yeah, and how else are you gonna find out what the other person, what you're arguing against, if you don't talk to the person, don't get the understanding?
Exactly. If you always shut the person down, you're not going to get the understanding of
What's going
what's
on?
actually happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I could be like, oh, no, you should turn all your guns in to the government because, you know, Australia did it. Yeah, but if we did that, our criminals are crazier than Australia's, and they will just start killing people because they know that nobody has guns.
Yeah, the criminals are gonna have guns because, you know, who else has guns?
Yeah. Criminals are not law-abiding folks. We all know this. But instead of trying to redefine what a criminal is, we should be reincarcerating those criminals.
Yes.
Which means put them behind bars where they belong.
Yes.
Because a lot of those people that have had those lifelong sentences or multi-life sentences, they are not able to be put back into the public.
No.
So
No,
we
they're
want to release them and put them, mass murderers. We want to put those people back in the public.
no. I don't even want them getting out of jail.
No, I don't. Well, that's the thing. They're going to get out of jail and go back to the public.
Yeah.
I don't want them out and about.
Yeah, don't want them out and about anywhere. Big population, small population, doesn't matter. They killed somebody. They need to serve the time for the crime.
Well,
Whether it's...
for the crime.
Yeah, for the crime.
Self-defense is one thing.
Yes.
But mass murderers, people that are killing people in cold blood,
Yeah.
people that are killing people for $5, like, come on.
Or for the ideology that states, you're against me, I need to kill you. That is wrong.
We have laws. We have to start
Enforcing them.
the laws that currently exist. We don't need new laws.
No,
Our
no.
laws are great. We need to be able to enforce those. So how do we enforce laws? We have a good police force.
Yeah. So here's something, speaking about the police and laws. Do you know what the police do in China against drug anything? Well, they have a very severe punishment. Do you know what it is?
No.
Death.
Huh?
Death.
Yeah.
They just straight up kill anybody dealing drugs, dealing with any of it. They're dead. Death row right there. And it's like, what?
Yep.
Well,
because
if you're dumb enough to deal, you're dumb enough to just be like, I'm giving up my life.
Yep.
That is a very practical law I think we needed to have.
Well, I think what really needs to happen is a lot of people need to do research into what happens in other countries.
Yes.
So say you want to be more like Australia. Look at Australia. Look at their history. Look at why they are the way they are. Look at what their laws are.
Yeah.
And how you would like to live there. If
Yeah.
you wouldn't live in that country, why do we want our laws to be like that country?
Yeah, I should retract what I just said, because I don't think we need to just be murdering people who deal in pot and whatnot. But, like, the harsh ones that kill people, fentanyl, come on.
Fentanyl,
That stuff should not be going through our streets.
Molly.
Yeah, that stuff's bad. It destroys people.
Yeah.
So, do I think we should have harsh and just punishment? Yes.
Yeah.
Every country should be like that. There's a lot that are.
But instead, here in Washington State, they're going to legalize the possession of harsh drugs. Plus, they're doing the drug, what is it called? The drug enhancement facilities or whatever.
Oh yeah, you don't need to go out into the street and do your drug. Just do it here at this facility. Yeah, you know they've already implemented that. They're not trying. They have done it. They've succeeded at that.
Yeah. Well,
which is fucked up.
Not just letting them do their drugs there. They're actually giving them the drugs and the stuff to do it.
Yeah, they're facilitating drug use at a state level.
Yeah.
Government should not allow that. That should not be allowed under any state constitution or otherwise. That just means, yes, we do not care about our citizens. We don't care about them so much. We're going to poison them or let them poison themselves under our guidelines.
So on that note, I think we should call this one an end.
Okay.
Remember, we love you, we care about you, and we wish you the best.
And we hope you vote on the side of peace, not war. because war's dark. It's deadly. We don't want it. Nobody wants it.
We might give tough love, but we do give love.
Yes, we do.
And we want the world to know that that's the way it should be.
Yeah.
So, when you go to bed at night and rest your little head, just remember, not just a gamer, and Redneck's World, we got you back.
Oh, yeah. And I will end the broadcast as soon as I get done killing this. Oh, he killed me.
Like, subscribe, smash that notification bell so you know when the next videos are coming out. And we'll catch you on the other side of things.
Yep. All right. You all have a good one. Latest. I hit the wrong button. Oh, God. Why do I keep doing that?
Hit the right fucking button.
I'm trying.